What's going on, guys? I'm E, and this is SimplyPut Scents. On this channel, I help you guys smell your best while saving you time and money. So do consider hitting that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, because I put out videos weekly and I love what I do. So in this video, I wanted to share with you guys my top 10 fall fragrance list for 2017. The scents on this list are fragrances that are very fall friendly, or for those days under 70 degrees or over 50 degrees. They lean heavily on woods, spices, and other warm notes. So there's really nothing aquatic or citrusy on this list. There's certainly nothing wrong with wearing aquatics in the fall though, if that's your thing, but these fragrances are more fall-ish. There is something on this list for everyone, regardless of your style, or if you're older, younger, conservative, casual, flamboyant. It really doesn't matter. And I know there are a lot of people who are programmed to not pay attention to fragrances like 10 through 6 or even the honorable mentions, but I'm telling you, this list is stacked, and any scent below 5 could have easily made the top 5. Easily. Seriously. I really had a hard time ranking these, which is always a great sign that the scents chosen are on point. Hell, even the honorable mentions are on point. So without any further build up, let me just knock out these honorable mentions real quick. Halston Amber Man. I describe this fragrance as luxury under 30. Halston Amber Man is a very underrated, slightly smoky myrrh fragrance that smells like it should cost over $100. And when it was first released, it was. And today it can be had for under 30. And it's one of the best bargains on this list. It smells rich and complex, even though it's more on like the linear side of things. And while I love it a lot, it lasts on skin for about 4 to 5 hours. Sometimes eking out 6. It smells so good to me. I really don't care that it doesn't really perform that well. From the house of Estee Lauder, Wood Mystique. Wood Mystique could be best described as androgynous, spicy, and floral. It's a woody / leathery scent with a strong floral presence and a lot of raspberry. The main flower in this fragrance is rose, which by itself doesn't come across feminine, but the use of raspberry definitely makes this fragrance androgynous and slightly leaning on the femme side. But it's not exactly pretty, you know what I mean? So to some of you that might be a deal breaker, but to me it's very well done, and if worn sparingly and with confidence, I think this could be a real good fragrance for the right person. Crazy enough, right now this fragrance sells for $180 at Nordstrom's right now, but it can be had for 1/3 the price or less on eBay and other reputable discounters. Insane for what you're getting, in my opinion. Special shout out to my man Carlos of Brooklyn Fragrance Lover, who gifted me this bottle when he, Manny of Cascade Scents, Steven of Redolescence, and I met up last year. You're definitely the man, Carlos. Thanks so much for this scent. I really appreciate it, my man. Thanks. And finally, the last honorable mention from the house of Diesel. Fuel for Life. Spirit. Guys, Spirit smells a lot like Yves Saint Laurent's L'Homme Parfum Intense, and to be honest with you, I prefer the smell of that fragrance a little more. To me, it's a little bit richer, but to me, Spirit is a lot more of a fragrance with presence, and it's also a fuller fragrance. And not to mention, it fits the fall perfectly. It's not as smooth as L'Homme Parfum Intense, and it's a little bit more synthetic, but it still smells very pleasant to a lot of people, and it gets a lot of love. Like a lot of love from people who smell it. Like, no game. It's a fragrance with a lot of flaws, but somehow fragrances like these still manage to work, and it works. The 3 words that I would use to describe this fragrance: warm, sexy, cinnamon. From the house of Armaf, Craze. The best way I could describe this fragrance is Pegasus for less. It smells like a $300 fragrance from Parfum de Marly named Pegasus, minus $260 and change. It's the best and closest Pegasus alternative I've ever smelled on the market, and that's saying something, guys. It's creamy, almondy, and vanilla-y. Okay, so Craze is not as dense, rich, or strong as Pegasus, which is the better fragrance quality-wise, but the smell creates nearly an identical effect. From the house of Boucheron, J Pour Homme Eau de Parfum. J Pour Homme Eau de Parfum, guys, is a beast of a scent. It leans on the gentleman sides of things, but dudes, I like to switch things up, and I would easily wear this fragrance comfortably with a pair of jeans and a button-up, no problem. And it's totally different from what's being worn by most guys these days. When you compare this fragrance to what's being released today, J Pour can easily be considered niche in terms of the style and character of the scent and the performance, without question. Some people would probably say it's old manish, but I don't think it comes across like that at all, especially in the dry down. It's conceptual, and the quality of the fragrance is really, really good for a designer scent. From the house of Bentley, Bentley for Men Absolute. Bentley for Men Absolute is a more modern version of the original discontinued Gucci Pour Homme. The same perfumer made both scents, and it was almost as if Mr. Almirac couldn't stand the fact that one of his masterpieces got shelved by Gucci. It's so funny. It's like he was just like so pissed off by that. So he just said, all right, Bentley, you want something? I got something for you. The best words that I would use to describe this fragrance would be dry as hell. It's pretty much dry woods with some spices, a little sweetness, and a dash of smoke. It's more of like a stripped down version of Gucci Pour Homme, which was, in my opinion, a lot more complex. But overall, Bentley for Men Absolute is a reissue of Gucci Pour Homme by the original perfumer. So if you still have a 300 bottle of that Gucci scent on your eBay watch list, do yourself a favor and get this ASAP and thank me later. From the house of Ferragamo, Uomo. Uomo is Ferragamo's first gourmand fragrance for men, and if you like smelling edible, this is a great scent for you. Uomo comes across a little screechy at first, but it's a somewhat unique designer take on a sweet gourmand scent targeting men. Tiramisu? That's not a real typical choice for an ingredient in a fragrance at all. If I had to describe it in 3 words, my 3 words would easily be chocolatey, cakey, and creamy. Did I also mention how sweet this fragrance is? It pops off the skin. It doesn't come across that sophisticated, but it works regardless, especially for those laid back outings on cool fall nights. From the house of Thierry Mugler, Pure Havane. Pure Havane is widely considered one of the top 3 fragrances for men from Mugler, and for good reason. It's easily one of the best tobacco scents by a designer company on the market today, without question. I say that a lot, right? But it is what it is. It's true. The 3 words I'd use to describe this fragrance: honeyed cherry tobacco. Wherever you could go, this scent could be worn to it. Pure Havane is like a false standard in my opinion, so it had to make this list. And it's one of those popular scents in the fragcom that really isn't that popular to the general public. So strangely enough, even though it's older than, let's say, D&G's The One Eau de Parfum by like many years, it's far less recognizable to other people. From Maison Martin Margiela, Jazz Club. Man, I love this scent right here. This is one of my top 3 favorite fragrances from this house, along with By the Fireplace and Lipstick On, which is a really great option for women. Jazz Club can be best described as sophisticated, sexy, and boozy. It's spicy with a lot of booze, vanilla, and tobacco. To me, Rich Woman Addictive could be a really suitable alternative if you want to save $100. But if you want the best version of this style of scent in the designer price point, Jazz Club has got to be considered. You knew it was coming, guys. I mean, it's fall, you knew it was coming. The one EDP. You could easily say this is one of the top 10 best releases by a designer company in the last 3-4 years with no hesitation. Eau de Parfum scents used to be stronger, but today's Eau de Parfum flankers tend to be denser than the originals, but that doesn't always translate to a strong performing scent. The one EDP would be a holy grail if it lasted as long as, let's say, Sauvage. But it only lasts about 6 hours. It doesn't really project that much off skin, but that makes it a really great fragrance for dates because women don't really like fragrances that overdo it, and it has a very seductive nature to it. But to me, this is a really good option for guys who don't like fragrances that wear really loud. And any guy could wear this regardless of your style or your taste. It'll work for you. The one Eau de Parfum is seductive, timeless, wow factor. Okay, that's 4 words. Put a hyphen in it. There you go. Thank you. Yes, my dudes, thank you for making it to number 3 with me. I really appreciate that. It was really hard to come out with this list because so many fragrances could have been in the top 3 in my opinion, but the next 3, they're not a game. From the house of Tom Ford, Noir Extreme. So the Tom Ford house has never really tackled a gourmand fragrance for men before. And finally, he does one with the release of Noir Extreme. This is one of the best gourmand fragrances in terms of smell for men out there. It doesn't come across like a typical designer gourmand. It has really good quality. It has a really good blend, a nice balance of notes. It has depth. It has adequate performance. It doesn't perform that great, but it's adequate. And again, you could always take the fragrance with you. Decants, dudes. They really are cheap on eBay. It's worth the effort if you really like a scent, in my opinion. I feel like Noir Extreme could be best described as relaxed, sweet, and spicy. Like, if you wear this fragrance during intimate moments or dates, it'll work wonders for you. It will also work decent at the office because it really is not, it's very inoffensive and it does make a really good impression. The vanilla and the kufi are the stars of this show, and this show smells damn good. Lolita Limpica Au Masculin Eau de Parfum Intense. That is a mouthful. The 3 words that we use to describe this fragrance: sexy, dark, licorice. Now I gotta be honest with you guys, the smell of licorice isn't something that I'm really into, but when I smelled this fragrance, I found a licorice dominant smell that I can not only tolerate, but actually love. And that says a lot. If you're into dark, sweet scents that are completely different from what's out there, consider this. It's the perfect fall option during cooler fall days, and especially those fall nights. It's smooth. It has a very nice myrrh note, a smooth supporting iris, and that iris never gets lipsticky or cosmetic. Vetiver and oud help ground this scent, and it adds a little bit of an earthy element to it. And again, it adds a little bit more of a masculine edge to the scent. And thank you so much, guys, for getting down to number 1 with me. I really appreciate you for getting through this list. Guys, number 1 is from the house of Boss, and that fragrance is Boss Bottle Intense Eau de Parfum. The words that we use to describe this fragrance: the best Boss bottled. Now, I think I could be a little bit ignorant in making that judgment because I haven't smelled Boss bottled oud. I did check out Tonic, wasn't really into it. The oud one I'm curious about though. It's versatile, it's easy to wear, and it's very easy to like. Very easy to like. It's better than Boss Bottle Intense or the original because out of the three of those fragrances, this one has the most depth, the most character, and it performs the best while not smelling totally different from the others. That's a big deal. To be honest with you, in my opinion, it makes the other two fragrances obsolete. The apple note in the other two Boss Bottle scents really stands out to me in a not so good way in the beginning. The Intense EDP balances the apple note the best out of all three of them, and it doesn't come across as chemical and synthetic as the others. It's, to me, the perfect jack of all trades type of fragrance. It would be one of the bottles in a man's collection that wouldn't gather dust. It's a compliment getting scent that always seems to make a great impression on other people. It's amazing to me how much it gets a great reaction from others. It's one of the most overlooked releases from 2016, and it deserves a lot more attention than it receives, without question. Thanks so much, guys, for getting through this list with me. I think there is something again here for everyone. If you're into classy fragrances, if you're into playful fragrances, if you're into conservative fragrances, and I really do think that these fragrances will do a great job for you in the fall. Let me know your top 4 fragrances that you've been wearing or that you would like to suggest to others. Like this video, comment down below, and of course subscribe to Simply Put Scents if you haven't yet. I hope this video has convinced you that I'm worth your time, my dudes. Thank you so much for watching again. I'm E. This is Simply Put Scents. And I'm Simply O-U-T. Peace. What does this scent smell like? Pretty much, it smells like paper from a magazine. Imagine like a fresh magazine straight out of the plastic. That's kind of what this fragrance smells like.